Before we get to this episode, I want to ask you a quick question. Are you a woman who's 50 or older? And are you ready for a career or job change? Maybe you're yearning to do more meaningful work that really lights you up. I'm asking because my friends Dana and Wendy of Camp Reinvention have the coolest career program. It's called the Career Change Accelerator Program, and they coach amazing women in a 12-week program to reimagine what their careers might look like and to help them see new possibilities. Their very cool program is kicking off on October 27th, and if you even have an inkling, I might be ready for something new and different, I invite you to check out the details. There's a link in the show notes, and let's get busy and think about new possibilities. Welcome to Reinvention Rebels. Stories of brave and unapologetic women, 50 to 90 years young, who have boldly reimagined life on their own terms to find new purpose and possibilities. I'm your host, Wendy Battles. Ready for a dose of inspiration? Let's get to it. Hey, Reinvention Rebels. We are 5 episodes into the podcast, and I feel deeply grateful. I appreciate you listening and being as excited as I am about Reinvention Rebels. I'm loving the great conversations I'm having with my extraordinary guests. So much wisdom shared. It was fun to share a little bit about myself in episode 1. So many of you have reached out to tell me that you are also adoring loyal Prince fans. We are everywhere. In episode 2, Barb reminded me about the power of gratitude journaling. She talked about simple, consistent steps, and that really resonated with me. I seem to thrive when I appreciate my life first thing in the morning. I don't even write it down, just quietly recite those things that come to me for which I'm grateful. I love my discussion with Sharon about trusting your gut in episode 3. Remember when she talked about how our gut is always right and how she trusted her gut when she was looking for an apartment in Spain? It was such a good reminder about tuning in and listening. The answers are all right there if we slow down enough and we can hear them. I think my favorite part about episode 4 with Erica was our discussion about how we each have a unique mission and journey. Spending less time comparing ourselves to others and more time focused on the gifts we can share with the world is really where it's at. I've left each interview feeling inspired, taking away nuggets to integrate into my own life. I hope you guys are doing the same. 3 key themes have emerged for me. 1, we can all gain deeper self-awareness if we give ourselves permission. Usually the only thing holding us back is ourselves. I don't know about you, but I have a lot of self-imposed rules running around in my head. And quite frankly, sometimes giving myself permission is a bit of a stretch. A second theme is trusting your gut always leads you in the right direction, even if it doesn't feel like it. I think we've all experienced that. What's in your heart versus what's in your head. Logic often wins out, but our gut is never wrong. The third theme, when we feel empowered, we can courageously speak our truth. Unapologetically, of course. The more we do it, the easier it gets. If you haven't had a chance to listen to those episodes, I really encourage you to do so. They are juicy and insightful. And seriously, these days, Who doesn't need some encouragement to navigate these challenging times? You might remember that in the intro episode, I mentioned that I was going to do periodic solo episodes. Today, I want to share about my personal journey that led me to create Reinvention Rebels. It's about uncovering my true purpose. The key for me is one simple word: reflection. Reflection is one of the 3 R's. Reflect, reimagine, restart. That is part of what I believe it means to be a reinvention rebel. Tune into the 3 R's, and they can help you find that sweet spot as we age, where we move beyond our self-imposed limits. Reflection, that first step in my mind, is the key to everything. That's everything in all caps. Because when we get to know ourselves, we can create unlimited possibilities. Let me tell you a little bit about my backstory. As long as I can remember, I've been a doer and a joiner. My Achilles heel, well, at least one of them, I can run myself ragged, trying to do too much. In fact, I have mastered that art over the years, which, quite frankly, is nothing to cheer about. Just ask my mom or husband. They know I always have a shiny new idea, or I'm trying to help someone else, or I'm involved in a community initiative that seems to absorb a lot of my time. I think that stems from my desire to help others, something that was instilled in me from an early age from my parents. It's definitely wonderful to be of service to others. But where does that leave us if we're constantly on the run and disconnected from ourselves? And therein is the downside. I don't always afford myself the space to nurture myself. For me, I have to work consciously to be more quiet and less busy. But when I look back on my life, while I've been very busy, I also see that I've been on a decades-long personal development journey. Now, I can't say that it started out with that intention. I never said, and now it's time to commence my lifelong personal development journey of seeking deep insights and inner truth. No, definitely not like that. And never consciously intentional. It's been an organic process, developed over time. No specific agenda, per se. Just a desire to get to know myself better. And, truth be told, work through some personal issues along the way. I've dabbled in all kinds of things to help me. I've gone to therapy off and on. I attended landmark education seminars in the 90s. Helpful, but ultimately not for me. I've journaled and find it pretty hysterical to read some of the things I wrote way back when. I tried rebirthing, transformational dance, life coaching and career coaching, vision boarding, all kinds of workshops and retreats, from self-care to shifting my mindset. A lot of stuff, and many more. While I didn't know it at the time, I can now see that all these things were important parts of my journey. It was time well spent, albeit sometimes difficult dealing with emotions that arose, but that helped me with self-mastery. Ultimately, all these things laid the groundwork for the last few years. I want to share briefly about the power of getting quiet and how that was the key to the birth of Reinvention Rebels. I really should be thanking the two women at Yale University who asked me to be on a panel about personal branding back in September of 2019. That's how this whole thing got started. I didn't know them, but someone suggested my name for a panel they were putting together. I was flattered that they asked and thought I could share some insights. I was paired with several other people who I really admire, and I was excited to work with them. And then it struck me. Wendy, what exactly is it that you know about personal branding? Not a lot. Well, at least not formally. But when I thought more about it, I realized, even though it's been a while, I've done a lot of personal branding for my health coaching business over the years. Still, I wanted to come with my A game. So I did what I do. A lot of research. And being the podcast addict that I am, I immediately started listening to personal branding podcasts. In fact, the person that captured my imagination and really spoke to me, Amanda Miller Littlejohn, started me on a new trajectory. I binge listened to a host of her Package Your Genius podcast episodes. They were just so good. It was like she was speaking to me. I loved her premise of identifying what makes you unique, what you're exceptional at, and what you love doing, because that's what you should really be doing. I'd been down this path before, but it was clearly the right message at the right time. And I was able to hear it loud and clear. I bought her book and read it cover to cover. I gleefully asked myself the questions she posed, and I wrote and wrote. And then the coolest thing happened. Hey, Reinvention Rebels. Want to have Reinvention Rebels inspiration delivered to your inbox? Head over to reinventionrebels.com and sign up for my news and notes. So back to the coolest thing that happened. I awoke to my powerful inner voice. It's what I call whispers from the universe, our inner wisdom that bubbles up and helps guide us. The key, which I seemingly ignored before, is the ability and desire to listen. We have to want to hear this wisdom and be open to it. Being still, listening to my heart, allowing myself to be led, it gave me deep clarity. I focused on where I shine, where I find my authentic voice, my love for inspiring others, and my joy of working with women. This listening, this happened over the course of a month or so and was literally life-changing. One day, I heard the tiniest whisper. Reinvention Rebels. Huh? Reinvention what? Reinvention Rebels. I had no idea what it meant. I sat with it, noodled on it, kept being quiet. One day, it dawned on me that Reinvention Rebels was a podcast. That seemed crazy to me. As much as I love podcasts, I never saw myself as a podcast host. Didn't think I had a lot to say, even though I like to talk a lot. But the more quiet I was, the more it became clear to me that was my path and that I had a powerful message to share. From there, I continued to tune into my inner voice, trust my gut, and be led as I created Reinvention Rebels. What changed for me? I mentioned that I got more quiet and still to tune into these insights. For me, that meant becoming less distracted, which was no easy task. I can easily fall victim to big shiny object syndrome, be easily distracted by whatever pops up in front of me. I used to have the mindset of trying to get more done at the same time, like talk on the phone while cooking or cleaning. But being quiet for me meant taking a different path. I stopped multitasking. I spent very little time on social media. I did things in silence. The dishes, cooking, cleaning, walking. I created space to just be, sitting quietly, not feeling like I had to do something. I started embracing the opportunity to have quiet time. That's when my true voice started to emerge. I've been listening ever since, and it hasn't steered me wrong. I've also embraced the new sense of freedom and empowerment that's emerged from tuning into my true self. That was a lot of sharing about that one simple word, reflection. The first of my 3 R's. I'm curious about you. How has reflection played a role in your life? How has that changed as you age? If so, in what way? What insights have you gained when you give yourself permission to be quiet and still? And if you haven't tried it, in what ways can you build time into your life to focus on you? It doesn't even need to be a lot of time, just a commitment to yourself to set aside some valuable time. Reinvention Rebels, let's continue this conversation about reflection. I'd love to know how you integrate reflection into your own life and how it's helped you on your journey. Your wisdom will help others as well. You can find me on Instagram at Reinvention Rebels, or pop over to reinventionrebels.com and share your thoughts. I hope this episode provided some food for thought about your own life. Always remember, we can awaken to our true selves at any age, unapologetically following our deepest desires. What would be possible if you let your inner voice emerge and help guide you? What if that revealed a new world of possibilities that you couldn't consciously conceive of? Remember, I said there are endless possibilities, and this is what I mean. That's it for today. Thank you for listening. By the way, you won't want to miss my next episode with 82-year-young Reinvention Rebel Millie Greneau. This amazing soul has reinvented herself many times over, including going from being a nun to a nightclub singer. How cool is that? She is a true badass in all the best ways. Reinvention Rebels, thanks for listening. Until next time, stay true to yourself and let yourself shine. Hey, amazing listener. Did you love today's episode? Did you find inspiration you can apply to your own life? I'd love for you to take a moment to rate and review the Reinvention Rebels podcast on your favorite platform. That would be awesome, and I would be so appreciative. Let's help spread the word to more people and get them inspired. Hey, Rebel. If this episode inspired you to think about what's possible in your life, I'll share a little secret. Any of us can reinvent ourselves no matter where we are in our lives, any age, any stage. We just have to decide to get started. Here's a super simple way for you to get going with your reinvention dreams. Download my audio, 5 questions to spark your curiosity and inspire your reinvention journey. I share 5 key questions that will spur your thinking, help you uncover your dreams, and motivate you to take action. Because if not now, when? Details in the show notes. Let's get inspired together.